Hey guys, John, you're on the JRB Tree Climbing channel. You know what this is. This is the JRB Garda Hitch Footloop. Here's the original on the left. This is the double looped variant, one loop for each foot, or you could put both feet in. And here's the single loop variant, and this has got the better best friend loop. Both of these are optimally, the optimal length is such that when you have your foot in the foot loop and your finger through touching your belly button, that's a great height. It'll vary with your own height. Okay, what I'm going to show you now is a way to get this thing tuned to various different lengths that we might need for different types of climbing, like hitch climbing. So I'm going to abandon this one, and we'll just be working with the single loop variant. The first way to do so, to change the height from my belly button to something lower, is to simply take this loop and put it inside the carabiner. And now I've miniaturized this, and I've got it down to the point where my finger is touching the bottom of my kneecap. It's going to be too small to use this best friend for redundancy, but it's still handy in some situations. Let's say you're doing an observation sit in the summer and you just want to spend some time in the tree and you don't want to bring a platform. Well, you can put one foot in each side and be comfortable with something under both feet. I've hunted this way. Okay, now, so that was the bottom of my kneecap. Let's go the second shortest method. The second shortest method would be to take this loop and put it through your best friend. Put it through the best friend and then around the carabiners. And that cinches. Now let's see how big it is. Now, instead of touching the bottom of my kneecap, I'm touching the top of my kneecap. Let's make it a little bit longer. And this is a pretty good height, by the way. If this time I take a carabiner, so I'm going to borrow my Petzl William Ball. Love this carabiner for a million purposes. And I put that on the line and attach it to my best friend. Now this is a really nice length for hitch climbing. Now, basically, when I stand and just reach down, it's the lower part of my thigh, but I can comfortably reach the rope. This is a good height. But what if I didn't want to have to use a carabiner, right? I don't want to bring an extra carabiner. I could lose that carabiner. I might need it for another purpose. Is there a way to do this with a soft method? And there is. I'm going to, in real time, I'm going to sit down here, and I have a 4-foot length of 6mm utility cord. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what would be 12 inches, we'll just eyeball that, or 30 centimeters, fold it over the webbing, and I'm going to form a longhorn hitch. Now, I don't expect you to be able to follow the detail now, but we've got a video on the longhorn hitch. You know how to tie the longhorn. And if you don't, refer to that video. But the nice thing about the longhorn hitch is that it cinches in place. I tried some other knots here, and I like the longhorn the best. I just built a longhorn hitch, and I can cinch it. Now let's take a look what I can do. Well, first, when I don't want this, when I want to disregard it, just slide it up the line, and I can pop it through my carabiners, and it's like it's not there, right? Everything else, everything I want to do with my Garda, I could still do. This transformation loop, as I'm calling it, isn't doing anything. But when I want to use it, slide it to the middle. That's pretty easy. Of course, you could leave it there. But I've been practicing with it, and I find I don't like it left there because every once in a while I'll get caught on something going up the tree. I don't like to leave it there unless I need it. But here's a great way to transform your Garda into something shorter. Put it through the carabiners. And now, look, remember that height I was just telling you? Well, I'm just even a little bit longer than that now. I'm midway up my thigh. This is a great height to climb with in hitch climbing and stick climbing. You want to make it a little bit shorter? Well, you could tune that, right? You could put a couple of wraps around your carabiner. You could fine tune this if you so desired. I don't find that to be necessary. And the other two shortening methods are still at my disposal. Take the end, put it through the best friend, and over the carabiners. Let's see how long that is. Well, now you can see I'm walking up. This loop is moved, so I'm a few inches longer. And lastly, the carabiner option remains viable. Now I'm taking carabiner, putting it on the loop, and putting it on this way. And now I'm way up at at the top of my thigh. And of course the full length was here. I'm showing you all these options, and we can fine tune it by changing this length, because there's different climbing methods and there's different geometries that different folks have with their systems. And long story short, when the Garda is too short, we can't really engage the best friend as an emergency connection to our second bridge unless we've got enough room to get our foot out. I can tell you for a fact, because I've tested it with this and a couple of the slightly shorter ones, if I were to get in a situation where I needed to self-rescue and I'm on a Garda, I can still get my foot out when my body is on this, and you'll see that in a tree. I just wanted you to understand, when you see this transformation loop on my Garda in upcoming videos, exactly why it's there and how I created it. Thanks as always for your support. You can find this and all of the Garda Hitch videos on both the Garda Hitch webpage on the JRB Tree Climbing website and also on the Garda Hitch playlist. Thank you.